Eta for telling my friend she should have seen her husband and her friend's affair coming. Background, I, 35F, was friends with Julia, 35F, and Alex, 34F. We have been friends since college, but our tiny group expanded from 3 to 7. This story is about Julia and Alex. 2 years ago, we all came to know that Alex was having an affair with a married man. Her excuse was that he was unhappy, that is why he is seeking outside validation. I advised her to stop it, and this is not healthy because he will not leave his wife. She didn't listen, rather accused me of being a bad friend. All of my friends were against it, but to them it was, not my monkey, not my circus. So, I contacted the wife and told her everything. I knew who the wife was because the married man once introduced us. And everyone in my friend group turned against me. Especially Julia because she thinks I betrayed my friends. She stopped talking to me because if I can betray a close friend of mine, then I can betray her as well. Alex was heartbroken because the married man decided he wanted to work on his marriage, so he broke things off with Alex. Julia was with Alex, and I was shunned from our group. What happened now? A few weeks ago, I got a call from Julia. She was crying and telling me that Alex betrayed her. She has been having an affair with her husband, and that she is heartbroken because she has supported her, and this is how she repays her. Even our friend group is divided. I was angry at that moment. I mean, she ignored me for 2 years, bad-mouthed me, said that I was wrong. I literally warned her that Alex was toxic. So I told her that she should have expected this from Alex. I mean, did she really think she will show loyalty towards you when she already did something immoral before? I knew the moment she made excuses of having an affair with a married man, her morals were compromised. I am not religious, but I do have minimum respect towards other people and their feelings. And suffice to say, I am not surprised she went after her husband. I do think I went too far. Because some of my other friends said I was too harsh on her. Even if what I said was the truth, I should have been more sensitive because she is going through a divorce. I do sympathize with Julia, but I also feel like as friends sometimes we need to tell them the harsh truth. I know I said all of this when I was angry, but a part of me says she needed to hear that. Was I wrong? AITA for giving my daughter a breakdown of what it cost to raise her when she asked me for her university funds? My daughter Ava was a handful growing up. Her dad passed away when she was 5, and even with therapy she was a very angry child. I still love her very much. She is my daughter and I would do anything for her that I can. Her dad didn't have a lot of insurance, but enough to pay off a small house and set aside an emergency fund and top up my daughter's 529 education fund. I kept adding to it over the years, not much but as I could. When she was 11 I met and married my husband. I thought Ava was okay with it. She never brought up any problems to me or in our therapy sessions. She was not. When she was 13 she accused him of something inappropriate. I called the cops immediately. He was arrested and he lost his job. He was innocent. She did it to get rid of him. We divorced. I was obviously heartbroken. I did my best not to take it out on her. I did punish her. She started acting out. She got expelled from school. Then another. I ended up having to send her to a private school. Even with a voucher it was expensive. It worked though. She is graduating this year with honors and a scholarship. She asked me about the money in her account. I said it was all gone. She got very upset because her scholarship won't cover all costs. Even with financial aid she will still be paying a fair amount. I said I would co-sign a student loan for what she needs. She said that she wanted to know where the money went that I wasted. So I got out a pen and paper and wrote it all down. The cost of my divorce, the rising cost of living that I paid for by myself since I didn't have a partner, her tuition and fees for private school. By the end she was crying and saying that I was blaming her for everything. I never have. I did punish her for the trouble she caused with my ex, but I think that was reasonable. She is upset that she will have to take out a loan. I also made it very clear that I would not be responsible for paying it back. She thinks I'm being cruel by saying that she is responsible for stupid things she did as a child. I'm not. But I cannot pull the money I had to spend because of her out of my ass. I tough for divorcing my husband because he's extremely overweight. I, 27F, have a 34M husband. We got married 6 years ago and we were together for 3 years prior to that. When we first met, he was very fit and quite the gym rat. However, since our wedding he has gained over 225 pounds and is still adding to that number. He is not the man I fell in love with. Every day when I come home from work, the kitchen is trashed. He can't clean up for himself anymore and needs assistance with many daily tasks. It hurts to see how much he has lost himself. And honestly, I'm getting quite tired. I didn't sign up for this. It's like I'm working 2 jobs. Last week when I served him divorce papers, he blew up on me. He said how could I do this to him, and accused me of being fat-phobic. Since then, his entire side of the family has been harassing me non-stop. They've been telling everyone I know that I'm a terrible person, and it's really starting to get to me. So, Ada for telling my sister to accept her daughter is white? Both me, 33F, and my sister, 27F, are Caucasian Latinas. However, she's always been more tan than me, a fact she's always been very proud of. For reference, my skin tone is close to Aubrey Plaza's, while hers is closer to Gina Rodriguez's. When we were younger, she would constantly talk about how European I looked compared to her, how my hair looked more blonde than brown, which no one ever agreed with, and how certain colors I liked looked awful on me due to my skin tone. I almost never said anything because I was 6 years older and had better things to do. Also, while I did have many insecurities, I never doubted I was beautiful. Fast forward to now, we both have kids. My husband is a little more tan than me, and both our children, 8M and 3F, have the same skin tone as their father. My sister's ex and baby daddy, however, was a very pale Swiss guy. My niece, 5F, is a fair-skinned girl with dark blonde hair, while my daughter is more tan and has dark brown hair. Everyone agrees that both girls are beautiful, but their skin tones have always bugged my sister. She insists that both girls are equally tan, that her daughter's hair is light brown, and that my daughter spends too much time in the sun. Last weekend, we all had dinner at my father's place. My son brought his notebook and drew pictures of everyone at the table. He colored my daughter's skin a darker shade than my niece. Edit, Orange for my daughter, light pink for my niece. He also gave my niece yellow hair and colored my daughter's hair black. He lost his brown pencil. When we showed us the drawings, my sister frowned. She said he was exaggerating his cousin's features, and that he could at least make her hair darker. When my niece said she loved the drawing, my sister told her it looked nothing like her, and insisted my son was doing this on purpose. Before the kids could get upset, I pulled my sister aside and told her she was being ridiculous. We had a very small fight in the next room. Near its end, I said something along the lines of, "Listen to me, your daughter is white, we're all white. You need to accept that and stop comparing the girls if you don't want, niece's name, to become insecure." We left shortly afterwards and none of the kids have brought anything up again. My sister is pissed at me. She told both our divorced parents about our fight. Our father thinks I shouldn't have commented on my niece's appearance and wants me to apologize to my sister. Our mom thinks this is dumb, I agree, but says my sister is overreacting. Aida, Aita for wanting to divorce my postpartum wife? It's stupid to think I'm at this point, but here I am. My soon-to-be ex-wife, 28F, and I, 29M, have wanted kids for years, and we're thrilled when she finally got pregnant last year. From day one, I wanted to be the most supportive husband and future father I could. Her father was never involved in her life. I used to work as a tech in labor and delivery, and my brother, to put it kindly, is not the most involved father. I saw too many problems up close when it came to lacking husbands, and I would be damned before I made the same mistakes. The problem is roughly 4 weeks into her pregnancy, everything started going downhill. She stopped wanting sex. Fair enough. Hormones and stress make that a problem. I went full stop. But then she didn't want any physical interaction. No cuddling, no kissing, slowly becoming more and more distant. Her eating constantly changed, and she was terrible about it. She would demand I get her something all day. Then the moment I give it to her, she wants something else, screaming at me. Okay, again, hormonal issues. I get it, no problem. She never let me to go any appointments, no groups she went to, spent more time away, became cold and bitter, constantly angry at me. This went on for months, slapped me a couple times when I forgot one of her dozens of tasks she assigned me during the day. Stopped doing anything for the house a month into the pregnancy. Sure, she's pregnant, I get it. Moving around is hard, but she wouldn't even do laundry about 4 weeks in, and by 5 weeks I did everything. I'm also the primary source of income. I barely sleep. I'm running on fumes. Made me sleep in the guest room. Would always try and pick fights. I never once raised my voice, my hand, or my tone. I sat there and constantly mentally reminded myself this isn't her, and this would all be worth it. She didn't want me to make any baby decisions. No name, no work on the nursery, nothing. 1 month before she delivered, she yelled how fucking useless I am and how I don't do anything and that she's staying with her mother. She didn't let me get her anything, come check on her, threatened to divorce me and get a restraining order if I even called her. A couple weeks back, I found out about the birth of my son from a Facebook post. She posted it with her mother and some family. It fucking broke me. I tried to go to the hospital and visit. They had security kick me out. After months of outright hatred, anger, and abuse thrown at me 24/7, I fucking had it. Odds are I'm not even on the birth certificate. I opened a new account and all my deposits go there. I took half out of our joint account. She never bought baby stuff ahead of time. Who knows what that money was going towards. So now that she has to buy supplies for our son, she's used up every cent I've gotten a lawyer. The house is mine. I'm the only one who spent money on it in any way. I've sent the rest of her stuff to her mother's house. I'm demanding a paternity test. I'm not spending another damn cent until I get verification it's my son. I'm absolutely divorcing her. She chose the stay-at-home life. If she cheated, she's screwed. Her mother has money for a couple weeks' stay, not even close to enough for full-time support. If he is my son, I will absolutely be getting my rights as a father for a relationship. Last week, my soon-to-be ex called. She was practically hyperventilating. She wanted to come home. She was crying how it was all a mistake. She's not staying with her mother. She's at a friend's house. She wants to come home. She wants our son to have his father. I told her I don't fucking believe he is my son. Why the fuck would she pull this shit if he is? Show me a paternity test, and I'll do everything I can for him, and him only. She wants to meet tomorrow at a park so I can talk to her. I said sure, so I can finally say everything I should have said months ago to her face. My parents are hoping we can make up, but they absolutely understand if I won't. My brother is a deadbeat jackass, so I don't care what he has to say, but my sister thinks I should at least hear her out. Update. Ata for refusing to let my 20-year-old daughter have her car back after she drove drunk. Behind my back, her dad, soon-to-be ex, found her keys, helped her pack the car, and tried to get her on the road before I got home from work. My Ring doorbell kept alerting me, so I eventually saw what was going on. I rushed home from work, blocked her car with my SUV, and called the cops. Before they could get there, he jumps into my car, fights me to turn off my car, and was able to prevent me from blocking her. My arm got scraped in the process of him fighting to turn off my car. Ultimately, he overpowered me, and she was able to drive off. The cops were too late, and off she went, 6 hours away to college, with her car. I wasn't really injured, so I declined to press charges against him, but I demanded that he leave, and told him that our marriage is over. He's now staying elsewhere for an indefinite period of time. She's planning to go to AA, therapy, group meetings, get an accountability partner, a breathalyzer, and an ignition interlock. I hope she does all those things. I just wanted her to do them without her car. BC, I don't trust her. Sadly, her dad and I are not on the same page. I feel incredibly betrayed by him for doing all this behind my back, for not communicating with me about his intentions to give her the car back, and for letting her have the car back despite all the evidence showing that she can't be trusted with it. He says I'm overreacting, that they have a plan, and that he trusts her. I don't. I think he's a coward, and I pray that his cowardice and stupidity doesn't get her or anyone else killed. Also wondering how to go about trying to stop someone from driving drunk when you're not physically with the potential drunk driver. Do the police actually do anything about it if you call them? First post. 2 days ago, my 20-year-old daughter drove drunk to get herself some food. I was working in the backyard and thought she was inside watching golf with her dad. When I realized she had driven after drinking that afternoon, I immediately got in my car, picked her up, and drove her home. She is supposed to be returning to college any day now to start an internship there, and I am adamant that she cannot have the car anymore until she earns my trust back. She can fly back to college and once there take Lyft, Ubers, public transportation, whatever, just not her car, which is actually not her car, as it was purchased for her by her dad. Problem is that her dad disagrees with me and wants her to have the car back. This is the same guy who called her while she was out driving drunk, and all he did was tell her to get home safely. He'd been drinking that afternoon and was also in no condition to drive. She says she doesn't really remember what she said in the car after I picked her up. Further indication as to her level of intoxication. ATA for fighting her dad to not let her take her car back to college after this? Am I the asshole for bluntly explaining to my wife why our kids like me more than her? My wife has been complaining recently that our kids always seem to prefer spending time with me over her. They never go to her for anything they need. It's always me. I just answered that it's because I spend more time with them than she does. She stated that I don't, so I broke it down for her just point blank. Both kids are young and need parental supervision for everything. They wake between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. I am the one who gets up with them every single morning. Wife gets up at 7:30 a.m. weekdays and about 9 a.m. weekends. Low end, that's 13.5 hours I spend more with them. I also do bedtime for both kids. That takes about 1 hour a night for baths and stories, etc. That's another 7 hours a week. Wife also says she gets stressed, touched out a lot. I often take the kids with me to the supermarket or to the park or something to let her have a long bath in peace or an afternoon nap. Probably around 3.5 hours a week if we also add in that I'm the one who also takes kids to all extracurriculars and picks them up. She does not ever have the kids on her own. The longest she does is the time it takes me to have a shower and dressed each morning. So I just broke it down plainly like above. I effectively spend a full actual day more a week with them. I didn't say it in any kind of a moaning way or anything like that. I do actually really enjoy spending time with them, so I'm quite happy with the arrangement. I just feel that she can't complain that the kids don't want to spend time with her when she spends proportionally so much less of her time with them. Am I the asshole for pointing this out? Edit and an update. Thank you all for your comments. I wasn't expecting this post to get anywhere near this traction, and I will read them all. Something I missed in my original post. Work. We own a business together. We both work at it 5 days a week, 9:30, 4:30. It's not stressful or particularly difficult work as the business has got to the stage where we are able to take a step back, and it mostly runs itself. Update. 18-month-old woke at 5:30 a.m. this morning. It's now 7:30 a.m., and she's still in bed, so clearly our conversation had no impact. I don't really care or have any desire to change things because I quite like how they are, so I don't plan to push it.